Hello, Commanders fans. Today we bring you 8 realistic trades for our team before the NFL deadline. Subscribe to the channel, activate the bell so you don't miss any updates, and leave a like to strengthen our support. Let's join us in this. And now, without further ado, let's get to today's news. The NFL trade deadline is less than a week away. The Washington Commanders are currently the surprise team in the NFL, sitting at 6-2 and atop the NFC East. The Commanders' rise has come much sooner than many expected. With a new GM, Adam Peters, who has turned over half the roster, a new coaching staff led by Dan Quinn, and perhaps most importantly, rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels, Washington is clearly one of the best teams in the NFC. But despite being 6-2, the Commanders have some holes on the roster. Their offensive line is much better than people expected. However, would Peters make a move for depth if a veteran offensive tackle were available? The 3 positions of need that stand out above all others are cornerback, edge rusher, and wide receiver. Fortunately, there are a few options at each position, depending on what Peters would be willing to spend. Remember, money is not an issue for the Commanders. They have plenty of salary cap space in the coming years, and a few extra 2025 NFL draft picks due to recent trades. We look at 8 realistic possibilities for Washington ahead of next week's deadline. Carolina Panthers CB, J.C. Horn. There's a lot to like about Horn. He's 24, turning 25 later this month, and in his 4th NFL season. A 2021 first-round pick, Horn has 1 year of team control remaining. The Panthers are terrible, but they insist they're not in the middle of a fire sale. Are they taking a stand? Or would a solid offer make them want to let Horn go? Horn isn't perfect. He's missed a lot of time in his first 3 seasons. However, the 6'1" son of former Pro Bowl WR Joe Horn has plenty of potential and could blossom under head coach Dan Quinn and defensive coordinator Joe Witt Jr. Jonathan Jones, New England Patriots center back. Jonathan Jones is older, 31, and a free agent at the end of the season, so he shouldn't cost as much. He's not a shutdown cornerback, but he's solid, versatile, and reliable. You could do a lot worse. He would bring some much-needed veteran leadership to the cornerback room. He can play in the slot or on the outside. New Orleans Saints CB, Marshon Lattimore. If you want to make a big swing, call the Saints and ask about Marshon Lattimore. His name has been mentioned before, but he's remained in New Orleans his entire career. The 8-year-old is still only 28 and a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's currently battling a hamstring injury, and the Saints may not part ways with him. New Orleans rarely admits they have a bad team and continues to be in salary cap purgatory. Trading Lattimore would give them a decent return and clear some cap space on the books. He would be a coup for the Commanders and their pass defense, giving them a legitimate number 1 cornerback. Cleveland Browns trades Darius Smith. Smith is a very realistic option. The Browns are reportedly open to trading outside of Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. Washington or another team should go after Garrett, but that's not happening. Smith is 32 years old, but he's still productive. He's had success at every stop in his career and would fit perfectly in a rotational role for Quinn and Witt. Smith wouldn't cost much, and there's no long-term commitment involved, making him an ideal fit. Tennessee Titans land Harold Landry. Another team that is open to trades. The Titans have already made trades as they look to rebuild. Landry is an attractive target. He is 28 years old, productive, 45.5 career sacks, and under contract for 2 more seasons. Landry would immediately boost Washington's pass rush and could likely be acquired for a mid-round pick and change. Los Angeles Chargers land Khalil Mack. I don't expect the Chargers to move Mack. They're right around the corner in the playoff race, currently 7th in the AFC, and Mack is still a productive player at 33. That doesn't mean the Commanders shouldn't call and ask about Mack. He's a free agent at the end of the season, and Los Angeles might be happy to trade a draft pick for him. Again, Mack wouldn't require a long-term commitment, can rush the passer and stop the run, and is the kind of veteran who wouldn't disrupt team chemistry. Denver Broncos WR Courtland Sutton. Would the Broncos part with their best receiver? Sutton's name seems to be mentioned in trade talks all the time. We're not sure why. He can play, he's 6'4", 29 years old, and has 2 years left on his contract. He would give the Commanders more size at receiver. He's not a number one, but Washington has Terry McLaurin. He wouldn't need to be a true number one. Sutton would be another fun weapon for offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury and quarterback Jaden Daniels. Cincinnati Bengals, Tee Higgins. Higgins is a dream acquisition for many fans. Currently Cincinnati's 1B to Jamar Chase's 1A, Higgins is playing on the franchise tag this season. He wants to get paid, and rightfully so. However, the Bengals recently paid Joe Burrow, and Chase is next. Chase will be the highest paid receiver in the NFL soon. Logic dictates that Cincinnati should have traded Higgins in the offseason, not because he's not great, he is. But it's impossible to pay him and Chase what they're worth. While the Bengals aren't getting as much right now as they did last offseason, it would be smart to trade him, and he'd be a perfect fit for the Commanders. He's young, 25, productive, 286 catches, 4,025 yards, 27 touchdowns, and Washington has the money to sign him to a long-term deal. This is a perfect fit. Given Cincinnati's stubbornness, don't expect that to happen.